make a separate, live, you know, answering questions. Just do like an open forum Q&A and answer questions that you guys may have. And the question is not, you know, not just like technical analysis. I actually want to stray away from technical analysis in the beginning, but questions that you guys have on trading that you may be struggling with, that I might be able to help guide you in, get some answers to those questions. So that's what I wanted this to be, is just you guys asking away, and I can answer to the best of my ability. And then if it comes to technical analysis and stuff like that, we can get into that as well. Yeah, good first question. How much percentage of your portfolio do you put into a trade? So, recommended is around like 1 to 2% per trade. So if you have like a $10,000 account, say, you're looking at, it might be like $100. What I do though, I don't do that. Like, I'm here to make money. I do it based off of confluence and my confidence in the trade itself. And if you're a beginner, it's going to take a little bit of time to get there. Some people might, like, I didn't know in the beginning, how confident I really was. A lot of time it was like hopium. Like, yeah, this is going to go here, I hope. But it's based on confluence, and I'll use, indicators for confluence. I'll use trend lines for confluence. I'll use breaks of areas of support resistance for confluence. And if there are, like 3-4 things aligning, I'll go a little bit heavier on, contracts, or I'll go, I'll buy more shares. Like if I see that there's 3 touches of divergence on a higher time frame, that's some decent confluence, and there's confidence going into that trade. So I'll go heavier, but it's all just going to be dependent on your risk. I think you have to really, you guys have to understand that if you have the mentality going into the trade to like make money every single day, you're gonna get smoked, and you're putting too much pressure on yourself. And I really think you need to switch your focus around to risk management. Like recently, I've been entering trades with break-even stop losses. I've been entering trades with 3% stop losses. And on the days where I might be a little tired, on days where I'm just not confident for some reason, even though that I know that this trade should play out, I feel more comfortable setting a stop loss at break even. And the best part about that is at the end of the day, if I made no money, I didn't fucking lose any money. At the end of the day, if I have a stop loss at 3-4%, and let's say I go 10 contracts in on SPY, and that costs me, let's say, $1,200. I'm willing to lose like $50 on a trade. It's not that big of a deal, knowing that I have the whole rest of the day to keep trading. But I would rather end a trading day at 5 trades of break even, and I didn't make anything, than 5 trades at a 10% loss. Especially if you're doing like 10 contracts at a time, that can be a $500 lost day. And sometimes just going in and setting that stop loss at break even, like, yeah, you might get stopped out immediately, but if you have more liquidity to trade with, you can always just re-enter. Maybe it does a fake out, it comes down, and then it retests a consolidation area, and then we go back up. Okay, I'll enter there again. I was just wrong in my entry, and I'm at least not seeing red on the day. So I really think focusing on your risk management and protecting your liquidity and the funds that you have is important when it comes to success in your trading. Even if you're doing a swing if you bought shares. Uh, and there's a chance that it might take a couple weeks to play out. I still think it's important to set a stop loss. Take that small loss and you might be able to get in lower and make up for that loss. We want to win so bad as humans. Like, I don't like fucking losing. I hate losing. I really, really hate losing. When I lose at something, I will spend hours figuring out why I lost. I'm really hard on myself when I lose in any way. It can be in the hobbies that I currently do. It can be in trading. When I have losses, to answer the question above, which was, where was it? Do I assess my SPY trades at the end of every day? Yeah, I do. I assess all of them. I assess my wins and I assess my losses. And I don't necessarily do it at the end of every single day. What I will do is, if I didn't look at my losses at the end of the day, sometimes it's good to just take a step away, and you already might be like, fuck, how did I fuck that one up? I'll do it in the morning, and I'll see what went on, what happened with price action, and I'll look at higher time frames. Maybe I traded on the 1 minute, and maybe I missed something on the 5 minute. Maybe I missed something on the 15 minute. Maybe there wasn't room for the RSI to move on the 5 minute, which I think is important when you're day trading, is really seeing, like, is there room for the RSI to move before it hits another area of support or resistance? Does it have room to move to maybe test the EMA above as possible resistance? And maybe I missed that, and I keep note of those things. So yeah, I do assess everything. I just started keeping track of an Excel spreadsheet, like my wins and my losses on the day, my trades when I entered, and like little notes, and also why I took the trade. And sometimes, like, I took the trade simply because there was room to move on the RSI, and my EMAs were doing something that I like to see, and we just broke a previous area of resistance, and it's that simple. But then sometimes I do stuff like that, and then I end up getting stopped out, and then I go look at a higher time frame, and I'm like, oh man, the EMA was like right above on the 5 minute, and we rejected it. I should have known better. So I really try to keep in mind those things when I'm trading. But yeah, I do assess. I definitely do assess. I think if you're just starting out with trading, I do think it's a good idea to set your stop losses at a smaller percentage, even if you're trading one contract at a time. $10, if you only have $200-$300 in your trading account, set your break-even stop loss, because $10 is still $10 and still a decent loss when you only have $300 in there. So I just started doing break-even trades, and if I get stopped out immediately, then okay, I'm just going to wait to re-enter and see what price does, and sometimes it ends up helping out. I get stopped out at break-even, I didn't lose anything, or maybe I lost like 0.5%, whatever, and I just look, I'm still maybe bullish or bearish, and I just look for a re-entry, and sometimes it ends up working out in the favor, it ends up going up and I get stopped out because it comes back down and tests the previous area of resistance above that we just broke out of, and then I'll wait for a re-entry. So I think stop losses are huge, and it's something that it took me a while to really respect stop losses, because we don't like losing. We look at stop losses, we don't want to feel that loss, and we look at, if you get stopped out, it's our fault. Like, it's not your fault if you get stopped out. Hey, you're trading against the market. You're not trading with the market. You're trading against it. It's going to do what it wants to do. So you're saving yourself. And Lencho's point, like, stop losses on IWM SPY contracts, they stop me out too soon. I lose the move I planned. Yeah, but also, if you're trading with $5,000 and you're going 20 contracts in on SPY and you get stopped out at 10%, that's a decent loss, and then you don't have that much to trade with the rest of the day. So you have to keep in mind the size of your contracts. Like, are you trying to trade all day? If you're trying to trade all day, then don't go too heavy in on your contracts. If you have a daily limit that you set yourself of, okay, like I'm only willing to lose $100 a day, then don't buy 10 contracts of SPY or IWM. And that's where you can re-enter if you get stopped out. Sammy, you never really lose if you don't look at your account. Yeah, well, I know you don't look at your account because you only look at the chart, or you're just looking at yourself in the mirror shirtless. Because I know that's something that you do for a fact, 100%. I know I'm not wrong there, Sammy. I know you're that guy. I know you wake up in the morning and part of your routine is flexing in the mirror, dude. I know it. I'm only busting on you. I hope I don't make you cry. You do need to get those traps a little bit bigger, dude. There's like CrossFit girls out there that got bigger traps than you. Like, we really need to work on that. Shirtless Sammy, baby. Sammy's been hitting it hard, man. I don't think Sammy sleeps. Sammy definitely doesn't fucking sleep, dude. Sammy just takes fucking power naps. And that's another thing that I want to address. Now that, I'm kind of making fun of Sammy a little bit. Sammy's a good dude, but guys, your mental health is extremely important in everything you do. And if you're not taking care of yourself, you're going to fuck up in this 100%. And whether that's lack of sleep, or you're not exercising, or you're not taking care of yourself, or you're eating shitty food, you really need to take care of yourself. And sometimes, I was saying in my last live that I did this week, like, I took 2 weeks off of trading. Do you know how fucking hard that was for me to take 2 weeks off of trading? It was fucking torture, because it's all I want to do the whole time. But taking those 2 weeks off just gave me like this like breath of like fresh air, and I'm able to just like start from scratch, and my mind is clear. I was just doing the things that I like to do, and I was, also learning and working on some things with trading as I was not trading too, like educational stuff. But yeah, it's important to make sure, like, if you guys are trying to do this and trying to make money, you have to be in the right mental state, for sure. And like I told you guys yesterday in Day Trade Lobby, like, I didn't trade yesterday, and I wasn't trading today. Like, yesterday I knew it was going to be choppy, because every time Jerome's going to speak the day before is shit, and then I knew the day of, price can do whatever the fuck it wants, probably trade a little up, a little down on the day in a small range, and then he speaks and the algorithm goes fucking crazy, and then you end up getting stopped out because you're in calls, because you're playing technicals, but it doesn't matter because Jerome Powell fucking burped into the microphone. So yeah, taking that step away is important, and taking care of yourselves too, because this stuff will affect your personal lives too. Like, if you don't like losing, you don't take losses well, and you're miserable at the end of the day, it's going to affect the people around you too, and it causes stress there in your friendships and your relationships. Yeah, you can't, like, and it's also like get some hobbies too. Like, do something other than this. Have to do something other than this. Yeah, gym's a good one. Yeah, to Roof's point, when I do get up in the morning, I flex 100%. Like, I'm not making fun of Sam to make fun of him. Like, I do the same shit. Like, who doesn't? You have to just make sure it's still there. Fuck yeah. else do we got here? I'm just going through the chat. You want to buy leaps on GME. How do I know which calls to buy? Yeah, I mean that's a good question. I don't really. I don't know, man. You gotta. Yeah, that's a $1 million question. I mean, if you have the money and you like do your technical analysis and you think GME's not going to be trading where it is a year from now, then go for it. Yeah, I'm not trying to get into that because I don't know where the fuck GME's going. It can go to 20, it can go to fucking 900. I don't know. I sold off my position when it was like $28 because I knew it was going to go lower, and I'll buy lower. What else do we got here? I'm just looking through the chat and checking out. Checking in, checking out. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying right now. Yeah, no problem, UPS guy. Also, like, when you're playing options, like, look at the spread. Please, because, like, I see, there's, like, leaps out there that I see that it's like, okay, it's like fucking $3, but, you know, the bid is $2.20, and then you just end up fucking buying it and you're already at a loss. So, you know, look at the bid spread too, look at the IV. What was, yeah, that was a whole loaded question. Yeah, SPY calls in the money move more similarly to price, and also there's more delta on them, which is always a plus. Like, the farther in the money you go with a call, the more delta usually is. So you end up getting more. Like, let's say like SPY, you know, 0.5 delta at like 567, say, you know, 565 might be like 0.7 or 0.6. It's more expensive, but you're getting a little bit more out of it. And the theta is usually lower, especially on 0 DTE. Yeah, so my biggest mistake in trading, yeah, Roof said it. The one time I got into a trade and I was up like 80%, and my internet went out, and where I was living didn't have good cell service. So I went to my Webull account and I couldn't load it. And I literally had to get in my car and drive. And once I got out of the area, finally got cell service, I ended up losing, like, it was down like 50%. So I went up from being like 80% to 50%. Down 50. So yeah, it was that was interesting. And that's when I said I am setting stop losses all of the time, no matter what. All of the time. But that's not my biggest loss in trading. There was it was about like a year ago. I went from, like, I built my account from $500 to 17,000, and I was on like a month win streak. That was in a 1 month, and I was fucking confident. And then I started over trading, and I went from 17,000 back down to 3, and I took a step away for like an entire month, and I was over trading. At that time, I didn't have my rules. I was just trading. I didn't have a system. I was like still figuring out my system. I was still figuring out what am I trading, like what am I relying on. And yeah, that was probably my biggest L, was that one. And if it wasn't for that though, I wouldn't have taken the time to develop my style of trading and my system. Like, I spent time afterwards not trading, just watching the chart, and that's when I started watching EMA and moving average interactions, and that's when I figured out the things that I use with EMAs and moving averages now by watching the chart, because I was like, I need to figure out what my thing is. I can't be relying just on like a Jackie strategy. I need to figure out what I'm going to use in my trading, what is going to be a part of my system. See a roof, don't choke on whatever you're eating, because I'm sure sometimes you forget to chew. You seem like that type of person. Let me see. Just looking at the chat right now. If I miss someone's question, let me know, because I'm seeing like a. How long did it take you to feel comfortable and confident trading SPY? Honestly, it took like a year, man. It took like a solid year. And it was like a year of like not trading it every day, but trading it weekly, like at least 2-3 days a week. So it definitely takes time. Like you, like SPY does certain things, and when you notice the certain things that SPY does, in time watching the chart, you get a better feel for its personality. So it took a year to get an understanding of like how SPY moves daily, like what goes on daily with SPY. So it took like a decent amount of time. That's like I have a few friends that they want to get into the Discord, and they're just like, yeah, like I want to make money, and I'm like, you gotta fucking put in the work, dude. I'm like, this isn't a Discord where people are just like buy here, sell here, and that immediately like shuts them off. Like they don't want to put in the work. Like this shit takes a while. Like if you're trying to change your trajectory in life, like it's not going to be like a 1 month thing. It's not going to be a 2 month thing, a 3 month thing. It's going to take a while. Like I was trading, like this is my 4th year trading, and I honestly didn't get good trading until I joined this Discord, because the videos that I was watching, I was in like one other Discord, I forget the name of it, but it was just like buys and sells, and then when I wasn't making money, I didn't know why I wasn't making money, because I was depending on someone else. And that's when I decided I'm not depending on someone else to make money. And I've been in this Discord for like over probably like a year and a half now. And I've only taken 2 of Jackie's trades, like ever. And it's because when he was posting like trades and technical analysis, I didn't understand it when he was first posting it. Like I understood, like he would explain harmonics, but I didn't understand it. Like I didn't understand entries, I didn't understand exits, I didn't understand any of that shit. And because I didn't understand it, I wasn't comfortable getting into these trades. So my first trade I took with Jackie was Root, and he did a really good job explaining why Root was a good buy in that accumulation phase that it was in when it was trading at like $8. And I bought a few shares. I ended up making like $5 grand off of that. It was like one of my best trades. That was a while ago. And I just, I think the last one, I forget the last one that I went into, and I ended up making, like 60% on contracts. But yeah, I haven't, I don't know if it's just something in me where I like doing the work myself, but I'm not really big into like taking other people's trades. Like there's some times where, Calvin will post a chart in day trade, or, somewhere else, or, Lencho might post something, and I look at it and I go, okay, yeah, that looks good. And then I pull up my chart and I look for something, and maybe I put it on a watch list, but it's very rarely that I take a trade just because, someone posts a chart, or, says it's a good reason to buy. I really like relying on myself, because I like, it's not that I don't trust other people, it's just, I'll always trust myself, especially now more than someone else when it comes to trading. And with Jackie's trades and the stuff that he does, like now I look at Jackie's chart, and with like in 30 seconds, I can look at the chart and go, yeah, this looks fucking good. And I'll put it on a watch list. But I'm actually trying to get away from the day trading as much and going in more on like weekly options. Just to give myself a little bit more flexibility in life. I fucking hate this line right here. Remove that. There we go. Fuck yeah, Calvin. That rules, dude. Yeah, I think you and I joined. I joined the Discord. I think it was in like maybe November. It was. So yeah, it's just like a little over a year. That's crazy, man. I thought you were in here longer. All right. Can you talk about how you prioritize different indicator signals when day trading? Feels like I may give too much weight to certain ones that don't produce great signals. And I think that's a really good fucking question. And this is where, people talk about systems. Like you have to trade your system. And what your system is, it's a combination of your philosophy on trading, your risk management, and then your understanding of indicators. And what indicators you deeply, deeply, deeply understand. So, in my trading, right, I like using the RSI, I like using the MACD, and I like using the DMI ADX sometimes. I like using Fibonacci's, I like using trend lines, I like looking for patterns, and I like using the 8 EMA, even on higher time frames, the 21 EMA, the 20 moving average, the 50, and the 200, right? That's all involved in my trading system. And when it comes to prioritizing the different indicators and signals when you're day trading, if you're finding that you're giving too much weight to a certain one that doesn't produce great signals, maybe you just don't have an understanding of that indicator yet. Maybe you just need to learn a little bit more about it. It's not that it's producing the wrong signals. It's maybe that you're missing something. Maybe you're missing something in that indicator that you need to learn a little bit more about. Like if you're strictly like using the RSI and you're using the RSI for your entries and you find that you're getting stopped out of your trades even though the RSI looks like it's going to go up, you're missing something there. There's something that you're missing, and I'm going to go back to. You need to watch. You watch Jackie's RSI video. You start watching the RSI, you think you have an understanding of it, but what you need to do is take your notes and what you learned from the RSI and the education and start watching what the RSI does, right? Like an example in day trading, when the RSI breaks 50, what's the next area you can expect a bounce in price? It's going to be 35 on the RSI, right? Usually when we hit the RSI on the 1 minute time frame and we're below 50, it usually tests 35, 34, 33, and it bounces up a little bit. And it wants to test the EMA. And that's another thing that you need to look out for, is when you're in a trade and you're using the RSI, price likes to navigate to the EMA on the RSI. So sometimes it's best to enter a position not at the break of, say, center line and not at Jackie's signal, but maybe wait for the test of the RS, or wait for the test of the EMA and wait for the rejection on the 1 minute for it to go lower. And these are all things that I learned by watching. When I say I watched how SPY and everything interacts, its personality, I know when we break the 50, that when we hit that 35 area, it's most likely going to reject. Just a little bit. We might go up, and sometimes it rejects, and we go back up and we test the EMA on the RSI. And I also look at the distance. Like if the RSI is still at like 50, or the EMA is still at 52, 53, and we're at 35 on the 1 minute time frame, that means that to retest it, we got to go back into the bull zone on the RSI. Maybe bulls take control of it. Maybe it's a fake out. So these are all the things I keep in mind. So you really have to have an understanding of the indicators that you're using and how they work and how they interact and their personalities. So it's, and having, you know, the MACD, the RSI, the ADX, DMI up with, you know, price action, and you're watching the chart, if you don't have an understanding of all of those, it's completely pointless. So just start with one, like really hone in on one thing. Like I spent like 4 months studying the EMA and the moving averages interactions on SPY, and then I started testing things out. It took 4 months for me to be like, this is part of my strategy now, because I now have an understanding of what these things do when they interact with each other. I have an understanding of what the 21 EMA does when it interacts with the 20 moving average. I have an understanding when it crosses below the 20 moving average when we're in an uptrend, that usually it's a sign that the current price action might die down a little bit and we might have some pullback. And it took a long time watching that for me to catch on to it. So it's picking out those 1 or 2 indicators and really, really, really deeply understanding those things. And I hope that answers your question. Yeah, the ADX and DMI with the RSI, day trading is definitely good. I like it. Yeah, no problem. You know, sometimes we get overwhelmed. I know when I first started, like, you have all these indicators, you have all of this access, and this is what I use. I have my EMAs and my moving averages that I pull up when I need to, and I have my Fibonacci's, and then when I need to, I do this, and I have the KST, I have MACD, the RSI, DMI, ADX. That's it. That's what I use. And most of the time, my chart looks like this, and I only pull it up like maybe every couple minutes just to take a look. And like, here's an example of what I was just talking about. When we break that 50 line, we see this price action come down, right? See price action come down here, we break, oh, look what happens. We hit this area, we bounce up. We hit this area, we bounce. Now it's consolidating, and now we're going to test. So this is the personality of the RSI, and it's getting used to that. And when you take a look, right, it's like we'll break these areas, and then we come up. We break these areas, and we come up a little bit. We come back down, and then we come up. We come down, we come up. So I know when we get into this zone, I'm waiting for some reason to buy, just some reason. And the same thing happens here. When you have the EMA also get into this zone above 65, look what happens. All right, we'll pull that up a little bit. Like, look what happens with price when you have the EMA get into the zone. Consolidation. Right here, consolidation. And then eventually we go down. Every time the EMA gets up into this zone, we end up going down a little bit. Gets into this zone, we come down, and that's just something that I noticed. Just notice when we get into these areas that it either acts as a support and we go back up, or we stay in here a little bit, and I wait for, maybe a break of the EMA and the break of the 50 to get into something. Yeah, you might have too many indicators, and we've all done it. Like, we've all done it. Like, I used to have like 21 indicators up. I don't even know what half of them are. I just had them up. I was like, oh, this thing might give me confluence to buy, so I'm going to do it. Actually, do that here. It's a good setup for SPY tomorrow. We might hit this trend line, come back down, break this, head back down to this trend line. Just an observation right now. All right. What questions have I? I did not AG. I didn't trade today. I don't. I don't like trading like the day before and the day that Powell speaks. I would just rather wait for the next day and sometimes the day after the next. The W's and M's, yeah, the W's and M's. So, like right here, here's an example what we have here. So we can have maybe a double bottom here. Now this is just a 1 minute time frame. So what you can expect to happen maybe is something like this. We come back down here, we test this, we come up, test this. We now have a completion of a W, and this would be a bearish W, right? So after this, maybe we come back down, we come lower. But within W's, there's also M's, right? So we take from down here, we go 1, 2, 3. We break this neckline here. We come down to this next trend line maybe. So you can see that within a W, you also have an M. We can pull up like even a 5 minute time frame might show us a little bit more. Like right now on the 5 minute, this just looks like an M, right? So basically, I would be looking for a break of this neckline right here to go lower to test this trend line down here, which I have from this area coming up. So that's like basically, you know, tomorrow is maybe we reject here again. It's a completion of that little W. If we break this trend line, right? So these are just scenarios. If we break this trend line, we can have something like this play out. We have 1, 2, 3. We came down here. We break this. We break this midpoint on the W. Maybe we come back up to here. Maybe we fill this gap, say. Right? And then we can take this here. Just connect it. We have trend lines here. We can also take top of this here, maybe. Like we can just head up. Who knows? Maybe we just come up here. But I also know that there's a trend line above that I have from this point here that we might go to, which is 575. Maybe we fill the gap. But basically, a break of this trend line here, I would be bullish, because that would tell me that this is going to be a W formation. If we reject this trend line, it might be a completion of this M. Yeah, M's and W's in the on the RSI is also something you can look for. Let me see if I can find. So you see we're doing something similar here, right? This looks like it's going to be like a W on the RSI. It looks like we're going to come back up. But yeah, we can look for M's and W's on the RSI. Like you can see on this one here, we had a W formation. It would basically play, you guys could do this on the RSI too, like play the break of this area here for confirmation of a W. Right, and then once the W is completed, we go down. We had a W here. We played, if you played this break of this neckline, that W, you go up. There's also little ones on the 1 minute too. So you can see there's like M's inside W's. See what we got here. Like you have like little M's. You know, these aren't big movements, so I don't like playing it on the 1 minute time frame. Like I like using like the 3 minute, 5 minute. 5 minute always has like better patterns, in my opinion. And then you can go to like hourlies, and you can possibly get better formations. Like right here, looks like that this can be a bullish W. One. Just gonna go here, and maybe we come back up here. I gotta plug my headphones in. It's making a beeping noise, guys. Yeah, the M's and W's are just like a guide in price action. Like basically like to confirm like even this possible W pattern that I showed here, right? Like I would want to break this high. We break this high here, 569 area, like maybe we head here into this channel and then we come back down, do this a little bit, and then we test here and then maybe go back up, or we break this. Go to like 4-hour time frame, those bigger patterns forming, like this could be an eventual W, right? We can have top, bottom, right? We came up here. I would like to see that lower, but, right? Something like this. Maybe we just keep going up. Like sometimes dailies have decent patterns. Like on a daily, this looks like a 1, 2, 3, right? So if we break that 570, maybe we go up. If we reject it, maybe we come back down. 559, maybe we fill this gap right here. And we do something like this. Right now it's just, we're in this little channel here and we're playing that and we can figure out formations. But like, then you pull up the 30-minute and we had that rejection here. So this could be a completion of a W. We had one, we had a low, lower, and we had a rejection here. So that could have been the W being completed for more of a downtrend. So this is why I want to look at different time frames. But you see this M here that we had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? We had that rejection. If you see candles like this, we break this, we head lower, head higher. Yeah, M's and W's of the RSI are cool. I really like using the 5-minute time frame to identify these patterns. It's a little bit better. I mean, you could have like the 15-minute, like maybe this is a giant M, guy. Like it's just like there's W's inside M's, M's inside W's, right? Play the break of this trend line. Play the break of this trend line, maybe we come back down. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming, man. I appreciate it. All right. What questions did I have? Anyone have other questions? Like I said, I'm here to help as much as I can right now. I got Salty Dog typing away. Actually, not try to break through this. Yeah, like we break this area right here. That's like 566, 60-ish. Like I would just look for puts because we're probably going to come down and test this down here. Do I ever put an entry underneath your stop loss? Not usually, no. I usually wait for like, if I'm playing like a breakout of something, like, alright, what's simple right here? we had a breakout here, right? We'll just do that. We had a breakout. I usually wait for like a first, um, like higher low to get in to something. You can see like even if you miss that one, you broke this, right? It comes back down another higher low. You break this, consolidates, play the break here, go up. So I usually wait for like a small pullback to enter. So it's basically like you had this break here, and then we had another like little mini bull flag. The mini bull flag's on Spire Sick. And I'll just play this. Like, okay, we broke out here from this bottom. This was the candle that told me that buyers are like, fuck off, right? This is right when Jerome started speaking, basically. Yeah, exactly 2 o'clock, this candle. Didn't start speaking, but the Fed notes came out. We had this break here, we went up, and I just wait for another pattern and something to play off of. And I go, okay, I'm gonna play this here. Yeah, I'll use like a stock screener. I think one that I have, let me see here. I have like a momentum up one. And it's like prices above the 8 EMA, the 21 EMA, the 50 EMA, inside the Bollinger Band. So it'll bring up shit like this. So like, I don't know, we'll pull up Chevron. We'll pull up a daily. I already had shit here, it looks like. Right. Pull up daily on Chevron, and then I'll pull up all of this. We're outside the Bollinger Bands on Chevron. But I'll look for this, and like what I'll look for is like a retrace. Come back inside the bands, maybe we retest the 8 EMA, and we bounce up from there. But yeah, I'll look for that. What do you think? Oh, let me. You guys are. Let me see what I have here. What do you think is the most important factor to lead to your success? I think the most important factor is really focusing in on your risk management, and that's it. Fairly simple. Knowing when to walk away. So I wouldn't say knowing when to walk away. Being able to walk away. Like I walked away on Monday, and like I still had like $6,000 to trade with for the day if I wanted to, but I made $800. And I was just like, I took 5 trades. I went 4 for 5. I'm done. Like I'm profitable. I'm done. Tomorrow's a new day. So I really think just risk management. It's I saw. It's like you can have. If you have $1,000 to trade with on SPY, you need to make 50%. Make $500, right? You say full porting, one contract you get lucky, and the next day you're down. But when you have 100,000, 5% is $5,000. So focus on building your cash within your brokerage account so you can get into those numbers. So your trades end up being 5-10% gains, and you end up making a shit ton of money. So it's just like in the beginning, it's like taking those small trades. Like usually I do like 3 to 5 contracts. Like that's it. And I'll just sometimes I'll do like 10, 12 trades a day. And those trades add up. Like, those 10 trades during the day, I end up making like $1,000. And then I can go back and be like, man, if only I did 10 contracts. Doesn't matter, I still made 1,000. But I think if you focus in on your risk management, when you're profitable on the day, just like walking away, I don't think that you should have daily goals for of what you want to make because you're focusing too much on the money. I think your goal should be just trading your system and trading your rules, because if you follow your system and you follow your rules, what does that lead to? Profitability. So if you take away the whole goal of I need to make this much a day, um, I think you'll be better off. When there's a bull divergence in the so what time frame are you when there's a bull divergence in the RSI? So all right, so if there's a bullish divergence in the RSI, and in the middle of the divergence a hidden bearish divergence printed, I mean I would go with that bullish divergence can possibly create a third touch of or a fourth touch of the hidden divergence bearish, right? Yeah, I think the Nvidia contracts, they're like $2 to $3 around there. We'll pull that up. I don't know. Let's look up some options. Let's look up SPY. Look up Nvidia. Do weeklies. So weeklies on Nvidia. Yeah, I mean they're not bad. Bid ask $1.77, $1.75. That's not too bad at all. I mean, when you start getting in the money, they get a little pricey, but it's probably around the same price as SPY. Yeah, I know IWM is cheaper. Also moves a little slower, which is nice. 19th, we'll do the 20th tomorrow. Yeah, these are nice. Like 98s, Jesus Christ, like $1. $2 move, jeez. Delta 153, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, sometimes IWM just moves a little too slow for me, but I like the way SPY. It's just sometimes I'll take a break from SPY and I'll cheat on it with IWM. Maybe I'll join you guys tomorrow in IWM. Fuck it. Why not, right? Change it up a little bit. Yeah, I was trading IWM with Bye Bye for a little bit, and then I went back to SPY. Yeah, IWM is fun to trade. It's dude, when it moves too, it moves. But sometimes just like it takes fucking like 15 minutes to go like $1, and I'm like, fuck off. Please fuck off. Yeah, it's fun. It moves slow, but sometimes I'm just like, let's just make the gain and leave. Yeah, so how did I discover trading, investing? What was the first stock you bought? I had a friend of mine back in 2020. It was, I would say like June or July of 2020. He was a day trader, and he was like in Wall Street bets, and like he did this for a living. And he still does actually. And he actually showed me Roaring Kitty. This is back in 2020, and I would go over to his house and we would actually watch like Roaring Kitty's like fucking lives that he would do. And like at the time there was like maybe like 100 people watching. It's crazy to think about. So the idea of like a short squeeze on GameStop and the possibility of getting into a deep value investment, that's what got me into it. And then also seeing like he was teaching me some things, but like this motherfucker, like he traded futures, and then when he was trading, he was like, when he would trade market, he would trade SPY, and dude, he was fucking looking at like 15 seconds time frames. Like he was straight up like scalping on 15 seconds, and I was like, I'll never be able to do this. But yeah, he piqued my interest in the trading. Now knowing more, I would say like now knowing more than him about trading, I think his style of trading is fucking stupid. Like I hate it. Um, and I'd probably never trade like that. And but yeah, he just like he lives in a like in like a done up like old school bus, and he just like travels across the U.S. and he just trades. It's pretty sick actually. So yeah, he piqued my interest in trading in 2020, and got into GameStop, and as soon as they shut off the buy button, I just sold my shit, and then I bought back in, and then I held it, and then I just recently sold at like $28 to buy back lower, and I didn't buy yet because I think it might go lower, but who knows with the earnings coming up. Yeah, Lencho, maybe I think maybe I'll join you guys tomorrow on IWM. It'll be like a nice break from Spy, I think. How are the spreads still stupid on IWM? Like sometimes, like I remember trading IWM and like seeing, like sometimes spreads were like 5 to 10 cents off. Tesla, you trade Tesla for? Are you trading options in Tesla? Yeah, because they're expensive as fuck. Yeah, these things are expensive. I'm assuming are you doing out of the money? Like you doing in the money? Five in the money. Okay. Damn, that's wild. Tesla is my go-to on Fridays. By the way, I usually trade Tesla on Fridays. I'll do zero DTE on Tesla because I like the way it moves. Yeah, I figured it was like 5 to 10 cents. That's like one thing I always hated about IWM because I just like buying market. Like when it's like I like spy, just buy market. Uh, but yeah, we'll see. I'll look at it tomorrow. Maybe I'll trade with you guys tomorrow on IWM. Five in the money. Yeah, Tesla's. I guess you can do like if you think it's gonna go up, you can do like way out of the money, make something on these a little cheaper, but a little bit riskier there. You're bearish on IWM. I haven't looked at an IWM chart in a while. Yeah, this looks like a bearish W right now. MACD, the daily. Ooh, making some Rick and Morty lips here soon. In the DMI. Yeah, I use Fibs daily when I'm trading. I have like when I'm trading Spire, like I'll even pull up IWM, 1 minute time frame. I'll do I have my indicator that draws the fibs for me, so I don't have to keep changing it. It takes the most recent low to high. So yeah, I'll do that. This looks like it might want to go up, Lencho. This little W we got here might double top. Yeah, I don't know how to answer that. Like, would I say a 1-1 risk reward ratio is required for day trading SPY? I don't know. Never really thought of it. You could have this though. This here. You come up here, right? And then that forms a double top M, and then we come back down. The golden pocket area. Yeah. Oh, okay, you're bearish long term. That makes sense. I mean, I'm still bearish on SPY. Like, I still think SPY hits 544. So, when you say you're bad at risk management, right? That's a very broad statement. What do you mean? Like, what are you bad at risk management? Like, what do you do that makes you bad at risk management? I need a little bit more of an explanation. Do I read candles a lot? When it comes to candle patterns, like, I'm not good at identifying like triple and double candle patterns, but I have an understanding of like what the candles mean and like what to look for. Like, my favorite candle to look at are, like, I call them little rocket ships. Like, it's like little rocket ships, like little green candle rocket ships. I don't know what the name of it is, but candles that, like, full body candles. Try to maybe find an IWM. Like, I like looking for these guys, like little hammers maybe, but even like more full body, where it's like these here. Yeah, like this one right here, like this little rocket ship, I call it. Like, when I see a green rocket ship and I see a fair value gap right here, I'm like, fuck yeah, we're gonna fill this. And that's what usually happens. Yeah, so my 544, it's a golden pocket, um, and it's coming from any time. So we pull up SPY's daily. I'm gonna just get off track a little bit here. I'm gonna get rid of this. Back it fuck off. I'm gonna zoom out. So SPY's daily that we have here. Currently, like, we've been rejecting the 8 and the 21 EMA, and we're currently trading under the 200 moving average, right? So it would make sense for me. We're trading under all of the EMAs, the moving averages. We're trading under the 200 right now. It makes sense for me to come up and maybe test the 200 moving average. If we reject it, we're making a lower high here, and if we make that lower high in this area, we reject this, it would make sense for us to come down and test this golden pocket to then create another lower high. It's like very simple. That's my reasoning for it, is because we're trading below the moving averages and the EMAs right now, and eventually we're going to make a lower high, and I think our lower low ends up being the golden pocket, because it makes the most sense for us to come back down and break this previous area, that 0.5, and then make a lower low here and then come back up. A fair value gap? Yeah. Lencher, you don't play fair value gaps, or no? You don't do that? Not something that's in your not something you use right now? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll explain that real quick. I like fair value gaps, they're fun. So fair value gap, like 5 minutes, you'll get a little bit more. So when we have a nice big green candle up, say, we'll go with like a green or a red candle down. We'll even do like a 1 minute time frame, fuck it. Right? So this right here, so we have a nice bearish engulfing candle here. What we do is we take it from the open to the candle, this first candle here, right? And this is a gap in price action. We just took out all of this right here. So what price likes to do is if we're bullish, or if there's a reason for us to be bullish, you can assume that price might want to fill this gap right here, fair value gap. Like when you take like a 15-minute time frame, like this guy right here, we have this candle here, like this is a fair value gap on the low side. So if price starts coming down, right, and we break this area, let's say we break this right here, we break 205.65. If we break this and we start coming down, we're probably going to head to this fair value gap to fill it. And you can see like what happens with the fair value gaps. Like we had one here, right, on the 15 minute. Right, this was the fair value gap. And eventually we filled that. Yeah, you should. Yeah, look into, honestly, dude, like, just pull up like a YouTube video and like just like what's a fair value gap, and there's so many, and explains it really well. It's basically an area where you can assume that price will want to go to because there's that gap there to fill. And sometimes it takes a while. Like we still have a fair value gap all the way down here on a 15-minute time frame. Like this is a fair value gap we still got to fill. And then I'll also see like we still have this gap to fill. So there's a lot of fair value gaps. We have a lot of gaps in price too. But you can see like we do end up, when we end up being bullish on a bearish fair value gap, we end up filling that eventually. And you can see like even the fair value gap becomes an area of like support sometimes. So I look for like bearish engulfing or bullish engulfing candles. So like an hourly time frame, it's basically a candle that has engulfed. So we got this guy here, right? Right, and then we can look at this here. We got one here. If I just pull up a 4 hour, this would be easier. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Yeah, watch some YouTube videos. I mean, the people out there that teach will probably give you like way more context than I am. I just know that I look for full body, like engulfing, bullish or bearish candles, and you know that's a gap to head to. Like we have a really big one here, right? But we also have the downside. So it's kind of like if we're bullish, right? Like where does it make sense that price? Like we filled this gap that was right here with this wick today. We filled that. It's like what's the next area? And we have this area. So if we continue to be on this uptrend, right, and we start breaking up, like okay, maybe we filled this gap, maybe price heads here. Yeah, so it's the wick of the next candle, basically. The next candle is what creates the fair value gap. Like the 4 hour, I'm just gonna get rid of these bad boys, and like the 4 hour time frame will like look a little bit better. Like we've got like big fair value gap all the way up here still. You know, we have fair value gap down here, fair value gap here. We can even do it daily. Like it's basically this area right here, which happens to be the golden pocket, right? We got it up here. I mean, we can't say this would be some type of gap here in price action. Like, there we go, weekly. Technically, it would be this one right here. There's fair value gaps everywhere. It's wild. But we have like this fair value gap. Actually, basically this whole thing. Right, and then on the low side, we would have this bad boy down here. This one was filled. Yeah, you're looking for bullish and bearish engulfing candles. Or just big green and red candles. Something that leaves just this, where it's a gap. You have to look at it as like, this is a gap in price. Like it blew through support, or it blew through resistance. It said, fuck you. It's down. Yeah, think of it as a gap, exactly. Yeah, some people actually there's some people that they'll talk about like gaps to fill, and they're actually not referring to like little gaps in price. They're actually referring to candles. Like a big red candle down is a gap to fill in price. I hope that makes sense, but I'll use these as like an idea of where price could head, basically. Like if we continue to, like on IWM, if we're bullish on IWM and we continue to go up, right? Maybe we just fill this gap, and maybe that's the price target. And I know that we might head there. Maybe price wants to fill that. But look at this thing, dude. I want to fill this. I think Lencho wants this. This is what Lencho wants. Lencho wants that gap fill right here. Yeah, you do. I fucking know it. You see this in your sleep, dude. I know it. Just want that bad boy. Yeah, that makes sense. 165. Oh shit. Oh wait, is this another one down here? Oh man. Ah, I see ya. Look at that little bitch. Look at that guy. I think like SPY has one still. I saw the other day. I was fucking around. Where is it? Where the fuck was it? Was it filled yet? Yeah, here it is. All the way down here. It's at like 445. Yeah, on SPY. That would be wild. Yeah, it'd be fucking crazy. That would be crazy. I'm actually gonna draw this right now. That's right, yeah, that would be wild. That would be insane. I was talking to my father today, and he just retired, and he has like a pension, and he has annuity, because he worked for the roofing union, and he was asking me. He's like, I could I can sell it. He's like, you think I should sell it? I'm like trying to convince him to sell it so I can fucking trade with it. I'm like, yeah, fucking get rid of all of it. Let me just trade that shit for you, bro. He's like the type of person though, he doesn't understand any of this, so he does not trust me with it. Like he doesn't have an understanding of it, so he's like, absolutely not. Which is the same thing, the same way I am. You when it comes to trading. Like I was talking about how like I won't take other people's trades because I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it. So I was. Oh, this is interesting. Did we break out of this guy? Oh. Okay. Alright. Didn't notice that. Rejection of that trend line right here. On SPY on the daily. You wicked. You rejected. I don't know. This is cool. I didn't see this the other day. I'm just gonna do this too. Trend lines and trend lines and trend lines. Okay, alright. What did I miss? There's 55 messages that I missed. I think I do that. Alright, I'm gonna go back to this stop loss thing. Try putting entries where your stop loss is. Would have been, let price come to you, you'd be surprised. Okay. Dude, why don't you just like, if you're so worried about like losing on a trade and risk management, then like, dude, set your stop loss to like 5%, and then who fucking cares if you get stopped out? Just re-enter the trade. Like, who cares? Like, set it at break even. You didn't lose anything. Just re-enter. Right? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Is I don't know if this is a bear flag or not. It kind of looks flaggy, but like I said, this could be the start of reject and then come back down lower. I just want to hit this area. Like this is still. I still think we get here. This guy right fucking there. That's where I think we go. Yeah, we need 5. That would be fucking wild. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I'm gonna pull up IWM because if I trade this tomorrow, I want something. Get rid of this fair value gap here. What do we got? Does the daily look gay? What are we looking at the daily? We have the MACD cross, whatever. We're going to be riding this thing, it seems like. I'm just going to do this. Okay, so maybe tomorrow we come up, and then we come down, and we come up, and we reject it, and we crash. This looks like maybe Rick and Morty lips are going to be forming. Yeah, that's I was showing on SPY. It kept rejecting the 8 EMA, and it usually rejects the 21 EMA on a daily time frame, and I think that's like what we have. But this is IWM. What does the 30-minute look like? So you can get rid of this. I don't want the KST right now. Get rid of you. I don't know. Maybe we head to the Golden Pocket tomorrow on show. Looks like break that right there. 207.16. Maybe we head to that Golden Pocket until we reject. Oh, yeah, that's what we got to break. That's easy enough, right? 207.16. And on the low side, what do we got here? I'll just play these fucking levels. There you go, guys. Puts, break, calls, break. Boom. If it's hard to break any resistance if Trump fucking breathes, dude. Like, I'm sick of this shit. He just needs to shut up all the time. But Lencho, it looks like if I'm just looking at like the RSI on the 30 minute, it looks like this was a W completion, and it looks like it's probably gonna pull in a double top on the RSI. So it looks like it's gonna do something like this, where we come up, and we probably reject that golden pocket, break that neckline, and come back down. So I would, if we do, this could, it's a possibility that we just head up to that golden pocket and reject. Yeah. New tariffs April 2nd. What are the tariffs that he announced April 2nd? Oh yeah, dude, the fucking play here on IWM tomorrow is easy. Like, just play these two lines. Like, it's simple. Like, if you fucking break above this with like a nice 5-minute candle, that's what we do. Oh, dude, look at this W. Look at this shit. You see what I'm seeing, Lencho? On the RSI? I mean, technically this could be an M, but this also could be a W. For IWM. We could have 1, 2, 3, test, break this, come back up. It's like a general tariff for every country, great. Great, wonderful. I don't know. Here we go. Here's like a 5-minute. We've got. There you go. Like, if we break this. There you go. We break this here. We're probably going to break this neckline, and we're probably going to come down to the golden pocket. 204. Should be like dollar move. If we break this to the upside, it's probably going to be a W formation where we head higher, probably to that golden pocket that was on the 30 minute. Yeah, so I'm going to actually set this right here. I'll know that this is a golden pocket. Set it to yellow. And then we'll go back to 15 minute, 5 minute, like this. Those are profit targets if we break this. Dude, what time is it? I didn't eat dinner yet. Fuck. Alright, I gotta eat something, guys. It's like 8:30 here. I didn't eat dinner yet. I didn't eat all day yet, and I gotta eat something. I'm getting a headache. So thank you for coming. Yeah, absolutely. I recorded this, so I'll upload it so you guys can rewatch if you want to. And yeah, I'll try to do, I guess, as Jackie's going through, what he's going through right now. I'm gonna try to keep this, a regular thing, so we can keep the education going and all get better at trading. Yeah, thanks for coming, guys. It's really cool. Like the lives or the lessons I've been doing. It's been cool seeing 70 to 100 people showing up, and I really appreciate that a lot. Yeah, slow down and understand the indicators before you start trading. There's no use of having an indicator up if you don't know what it's doing and you don't understand its personality, the way it reacts. Yeah, you gotta have an understanding of it all. Try to understand as much as you possibly can. Fuck yeah, man. Thanks, Bago. I appreciate it. Alright, I'll see you guys. I'll catch you guys. Thanks for coming. And if anyone has any questions ever, like I say all the time, just DM me. And I'll get to it when I get to it, basically. Alright, I'll see you guys. Be good.